Hello and welcome to Mad Masher TV and Film Talk. My name is Taha, also known as Munchkin T. I'm here with Andrew,
aka Virtual Dave.
Also here with Callum,
aka
Wilson!
Cool guys.
And finally Jerome,
Aka Loudmouth J. What's up?
Today we'll be talking about the year that's passed. So Happy New Year to everyone.
You know, glad tidings and all that.
Yeah.
New year, new me.
And also,
Yeah.
and also the year to come and what we're looking forward to. But our main topic today, which we're gonna leave to the end, just in case anyone hasn't watched it, and you probably already guessed what it is. It's Star Wars. It has to be. We have to talk about Star Wars: The Force Awakens. But yeah, I guess we'll just get cracking on to our first topic, which is the year that passed. What are our highlights?
Them highlights.
Who wants to go first? Let's go first. Do you start with? I think Jerome.
Jerome is scratching his chin.
I know. I got a bigger beard now, so I can now strum it in deep contemplation.
What's your favourite film?
My favourite films, I'd say in terms of enjoyment for me personally, rather than quality, because I'm not really a benchmark for that. But I thoroughly enjoyed Mad Max. First of all, loved that film. There was a lot of hype surrounding it because one, George Miller's back in the game, making movies again. Two, great reintroduction of practical effects because after everyone was on like a massive blue and green screen hype. And oddly enough, with the whole feminism thing that basically surrounded the whole year, it was nice to see like a really powerful, strong female character that could almost be argued she was the protagonist.
No, she was the protagonist.
She was the protagonist.
There was a lot of feminist articles, anti-feminist articles being written about the fact that they were tricked into going to go see a film called Mad Max when it was actually about Furiosa.
Yeah.
Technically, her name is in the
that's
title.
bullshit.
Oh yeah.
And it's the worst thing. That's so stupid. Who gives a crap whether we watched a film about Mad Max or Furiosa? Mad Max is a franchise, not necessarily the name of the person.
She was awesome, man.
There's even a debate whether he even is Mad Max.
Whether he is.
Yeah, there's a debate. There's a debate whether he's the child. No, because in the previous films there's a child that he takes on, and the theory is that he's the child. That Tom Hardy's character is the child, and he's adopted the name Max instead of him actually being.
Bloody hell! Who's debating this rubbish? Who cares, man?
There's that, but that's one of the things that happened. That was a great film. I went to go see it with Jerome and our other friend, and it was great. We came out of it, and all we could talk about was how it.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
It was just an absolute adrenaline ride of a film.
It was a good film,
and it just didn't let up.
Even though when you break it down, it really is. Hey, let's drive here. Ooh, something happened. Let's drive back. Okay, that was great.
that was it.
You know, intertwined with that was fantastic.
Have you got any other films that?
Other films, well, I'd say semi-memorable ones just because it was like a continuing series. So The Avengers, second one, Age of Ultron.
Great film.
It was a very good film.
Nah, I think it was a good film.
It's a good film. A lot of people.
I loved Ultron.
A lot of people are gonna say, like, just given how the movie was it really the Age of Ultron, or was it a couple of months of Ultron? Because he wasn't there for long.
It was about a week, maybe 2 days.
It was a couple of weeks. And if anything, it was a weird kind of switch up because obviously this new Avengers was going to be compared to the old Avengers, and what was the old Avengers was basically like all the other like bit part movies. So Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk. That was all movies leading up to the Avengers. Now it seems like this Avengers is meant to be like. Not even meant to be. It seemed like it was just a movie leading up to all the third or.
I don't think you should really see it so much as that, as a sense of like they're all of these movies that are coming out. It shouldn't just be like they're all focused on what it's eventually going to be like. Obviously, it's the build up to Infinity War, but we're enjoying these films as they come out. Age of Ultron wasn't a bad film by any means.
I think everyone's major issues with now that the Avengers has happened is that the first Avengers happened and it happens in all the new films that come out.
Yeah.
Why does it take Ultron for the Avengers to come together and not the death killing ray gun, whatever Gatling gun things that they were going to launch into the sky? Why was that something that they called the Avengers?
They need to make more sense of that.
Yeah. That's the main issue with now the Avengers having this common villain, and for me personally, Ultron was a good villain, but he wasn't that big of a villain. Like his overall game was to basically try to destroy the planet, but every villain's kind of end goal is to do something to the whole population.
Nah, it was deeper than that because he was programmed to create world peace, but his version of world peace doesn't involve humans.
Yes,
it's to destroy and then rebuild. Which has come before. We've seen it before. But it's not bad. It's not bad by any means.
There was a good bit of charisma with the villain, so it made it entertaining.
I think it did something that then in the Age of Ultron, which sort of was the staple for most of the new Marvel or Disney properties that are coming out now, is that they infused humor a lot more into it, and I think that's very heavy in every other film. And
they were done well, but
I think they do it in, like, for me personally, I think Ant-Man was a great film that came out this year. It wasn't the best film that came out in the Marvel universe. It's probably not even in the top 5.
Some people disagree with
the top 5 Ant-Man.
Some
Ant-Man
people loved it.
Yeah, it was a great film, but I wouldn't say in terms of as an overall story, it was sort of just introducing character. It should be that sort of low-level scale in the sense that it didn't need the Avengers to come in and deal with it, because it was quite a low-level, low-key story. Whereas all the other Avengers, all the other stuff is way too big. You don't. Why wouldn't you call the Hulk to come and punch all the carriers down that are coming in? It's stuff like that. It doesn't make any sense. But we're going way too much into this territory with talking about
the whole Avengers Marvel.
Avengers, that's
it is a big thing.
That's a talk that can be for another time.
Yeah, and we've done this before.
And we've got new Marvel films coming out this year.
Still got 3 movies to talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, on that note, I did like Ant-Man as well. That was another one of my very memorable films of this year. And just a quick snippet just to add on, because what mostly we just discussed, this is how I felt about the film. It was a good film. It was kind of low key. Did have a lot more humor in it as well, which I do like, because it's not so much as the movies are taking themselves too seriously, but it's just like it's almost like trying to hit like a term where it's like superheroes must be gritty, must be real. Like, yeah, we do understand that, but they are superheroes. That doesn't happen in real life.
Was that a bit of a hint to DC? Is what you're saying?
Almost.
That's another.
Not even to that. That's more as an homage to like how Nolan can make things really have some gravitas.
Yeah.
Not so much as like DC things, but like just because Nolan was in DC, he made that. So yeah. But an interesting point that we made as well about how like the Avengers doesn't have a lot of continuity. I did like how in Ant-Man, the minute Ant-Man gets come up with a problem, it's like, yeah, let's call them the Avengers. I did like that. It's like someone actually knows them. So it's not like a hero's like, I'm here. Oh wait, who are those other? And then
what was the reasoning for them not calling the Avengers?
Because Hank Pym doesn't like Stark.
Thinks Stark would steal his tech and use it because he had a bad.
Okay.
With his father.
That's all right. That's all right.
It's kind of like a feud within the Stark and Pym.
Yeah. Even though, funny enough, Ant-Man is pretty much Iron Man 1.
Yeah, it is literally the same story. Almost.
So it's a bit of like a
apart from also
mixed
kind of with Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
It was a heist film with ants.
That's what they wanted, didn't it? That's what they wanted to do.
A heist film with ants. It's trying to make ants look cool.
It's Ant-Man. Come on.
Yeah. Okay. What else you got?
Fourth memorable film. Now this wasn't enjoyable, but it was memorable. Fan Four Stick.
Oh my god.
What did you say?
Fan Four Stick.
Oh my god.
Okay.
That's how they released it.
No, Jerome has the floor here. Let's make this perfectly clear. The only reason this film was made is because this year Marvel were about to retain the rights back to this film series. That's the only reason that piece of filth was put to cinema. Alright, that's the only.
You know what?
Only reason.
You know what? The funny thing about Fantastic Four, I was
Fan Four Stick.
Fan Four Stick is that I was reading all these reviews of people saying bad things about it, and I was like, this is gonna be bad, but I don't think it's gonna be that bad. And then I watched it, and it's like, this is awful.
I was weirdly optimistic about it. Me and Jerome could see it on opening day.
Oh no!
And Reed Richards with the clay
I'm sorry, Jerome. You can't deny. I swear you came out of it and you were like, it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
Cinema does that to us.
And then literally think about it. The next day, everything kind of said to me as we were leaving, I'm trying to like defend it. I was like, it wasn't that bad. I slept on it. And as I slept, as I hit REM sleep, everything kind of said just like channel was like, oh my god, this film is actually a piece of shit. It is actually a piece.
Do you know what gonna be joke is? You just gave me flashbacks to when you were telling us how good Iron Man 3 was, and then after a while you just turned on.
And then I slept on it.
Iron Man 3 sucks.
Okay, Iron Man 3 wasn't a piece of shit. Yeah. It was just disappointing, mainly because why is it going to be released in July, but it's about Christmas time? 1, 2.
I guess.
Yeah. Like, how was it that somehow Iron Man was able to leave? I end up with like PTSD from going into space. Sure, that would happen if you go into space, when you're not really ready, and not even into space, into another dimension. But didn't matter because they like the suits. Those were absolutely awesome. But yeah, where we were, Fan Force Day. That had me vexed after I slept on it. That film, I just didn't like that whole Reed Richards Clayface moment. Because like I saw so many memes on it afterwards, and I was just like,
do you know what I didn't get? Do you know what I didn't get? Sorry.
no, it's cool, come on.
Yeah. Do you know what I didn't get? Right, Reed Richards left. Right, why did he leave?
He didn't do anything, did he? He left
just
for like
sort
a year.
He just sort of left.
He got
did
scared.
nothing. And then
He got scared and ran away.
But for a whole year.
And he didn't do anything with that time.
Basically, it seemed like he wanted to make his own transporter. That's what it seemed like. Because right when he got to get caught, it
he
seemed like he
wanted
was
to go back
his own.
and try and fix. In all fairness, I didn't really have an issue with the film up until Doom appears.
You know, here's the
when
thing about
Doom
Doom
appears and he basically is introduced as a character and then subsequently destroyed the character in the space of 20 minutes. Yeah, that's
First
the
of all,
issue.
I was
How
hoping.
dare they make him the smartest man in the universe?
I was hoping they were going to do Doom like how Doom is in the comics, right?
Yeah,
I'm not a student like them. I'm not working with them on this
They
rubbish.
even mentioned Latveria, whatever it's called.
Thank you. He should be there. He should be doing that business.
but even
Freaking
then,
Darth Vader of Latveria or whatever.
But even then, though, it seemed like that this new Fan Force was based off the new 52 Fantastic Four, where it's not like they go into space; they actually go to another dimension.
Yeah,
but even
I'm
then,
fine with that.
Yeah, but even then, the whole like Reed Richards is meant to be the smartest guy. Period. Peter Parker got brains. Iron Man got brains. That's all great. Hank Pym got brains.
Yeah,
but it's meant to be Reed Richards at the top.
Yeah, but see,
that's it.
The thing about they didn't really take that away because Reed Richards was a prodigy. Yeah, he was there early. He was a young kid.
Yeah, they tried to do young versions of them. Yeah, where they weren't fully aware of how brilliant they were. They were aware, but they hadn't quite hit their pinnacle, which is what they do in Fantastic Four originally. Reed Richards is the smartest man in the world. He's more or less known as the smartest man in the world. Whereas in this, he's just like this prodigy guy who made a fucking time machine or whatever, virtual reality, whatever it's called. They made a dimension thing with, and they discover him at a science fair. What happened if they didn't go to that science fair?
It was stupid.
See,
it's so stupid.
There's one thing I just want to note on real quick.
Yeah,
I know. We don't want to spend too much time on this. I don't know. We don't want to spend too much time on this. But I did want to say there's one thing that I hate about Doom. Wasn't necessarily that, because when I see the character, I see the villain and he's back and he's got all the telekinetic or whatever, right? I was like, this is an interesting villain, but it's not Doom. It's not bad, but that isn't Victor Doom. I don't care what you're saying. That is not that character. I would have liked him if he was someone else.
It's so pointless to have.
It's not that. It's just the fact that he had all those powers to blow up people's brains.
Yeah,
but he never used it on them. That's what I didn't get. Why didn't he blow up their brains when he got to this other dimension?
Because he liked to call Susan. Because let's just call it by a
Oh, they did the stupid.
That was so weird.
Doom is madly infatuated with her, which I can't remember. Is he in the comics?
Yeah,
he is in the comics.
Is it in the
but
comics?
They did it they kind of just was like,
I don't even like how
I was the smartest one in the room, and then this guy comes here, and he's like, wow. Then he gets left behind.
Do you know what it was?
Fuck the world.
Do you know what it was? It was the exact crap that they were coming out with in the earlier versions.
Yeah, it's exactly.
It was the exact crap. They didn't learn from their mistake.
Yeah,
the earlier versions is better.
Great.
I like the earlier versions that they came out.
Looking at them, they're great. They're great films.
But it's the fact that's what they were meant to say. That statement. That is what they're meant to be. It's like they're meant to be the only superheroes in the big escape of the Marvel universe that are like the only superheroes that are known, like the family superheroes. Like everyone knows who they actually are. They're not heroes that are hidden away.
They're like the Brady Bunch of the superhero world.
Yeah, they're like everyone knows who they are.
Yeah,
they're not hidden away. They're not military experiments hidden in them
far away. I can't hate on the old Fantastic Four films that much just because of it was made back then.
Because Ben
had pants. Because
the
original, the second X-Men film was made back then, and that's a great film.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a great film.
It is pretty good.
It's better than X1, and it's damn better than X Last Stand.
No, let's not go.
But anyway, we're going into a topic that's...
And then
Tangent Land.
And then my final fifth is, of course, Star Wars. Because Star Wars.
Which we'll be talking about.
It's safe to say that on all our lists, Star Wars is there somewhere.
Yeah,
Whether it was your favourite or whether it wasn't, it's on your top.
If I can just say just one sentence about Star Wars, and then I'm gonna finish it. Black guy, and I'm done.
Really?
Okay, hold on.
We'll discuss this. We'll discuss this later.
I said black guy from the minute the trailer came out.
Me personally, I think I agree with most of the top moments of my year in terms were mostly what Jerome said. The only other
There's going to be a lot of that.
The only other one I thought was worth mentioning was Inside Out. I thought Inside Out was a sort of Pixar's return to form. I think stupid films like
what was
Brave
the last Pixar film? Before that?
What was the last Pixar film?
To be honest, no one really paid attention after
Frozen. No, Planes is Disney Studios.
No, yeah,
everyone gets confused with this crap.
It's not that.
It's probably like Cars 2 or something stupid like that.
No. There was Cars. Wait, which was? Well, it was Brave, then Cars 2, then Toy Story 3.
It wasn't Toy Story 3.
When did Toy Story 3 come out?
Wasn't it?
I'm trying to remember.
Oh, it was Monsters University.
Monsters University.
That was a good film.
That was a good film. It wasn't great.
No,
but it was
the thing about
Inside Out was
it was decent. It was decent.
The thing about Inside Out was it was back to what is real good Pixar, which is tugs at your heartstrings, but also makes you feel the feels. Makes you feel. It basically the main qualm I felt about it is that everyone's like it's a film about puberty, and you're kind of like it's not.
I kind of saw it.
It's like
it hints at it, but it isn't.
It does come up. It's not like.
It's not about puberty.
It's about puberty.
It's about growing up, but it's not about puberty.
No, it's about accepting. No, it's about accepting that you don't need to be happy all the time.
Exactly.
The film is about
maturity.
It's about, and it also
about puberty.
It shows you that that happiness doesn't necessarily mean weirdly happiness. Like you can show there are other emotions apart from happiness that are balances out your life. Like, you can't always be happy, otherwise you're going to go insane. And you can't always be sad, otherwise you're going to go insane.
You know, can I just say, right, that the least that we expect from a film about feelings is to feel the feels.
Yeah.
And it needs to do that.
It did. All I will say is, bing bong, you guy.
What?
Bing bong.
The imaginary
friend.
Oh, brilliant.
He's so good. The feels.
You know what?
No, it was all about Cloud City. It was all about Cloud City. That was the one.
If I could say one thing though, if they really made Inside Out about like puberty, that movie would so be not safe for work. It'd be hilarious. Because I don't think they should. I don't think they should do this. That's what I'm saying.
They're not. I don't think. I think everyone has this idea that Pixar has to have sequelitis, where it needs to churn them out. And if anything, Toy Story is the only exception to the rule. Though Toy Story 2 is not as good as Toy Story 1 in my opinion. But Toy Story 3 is a great movie.
No, Toy Story 3 had me crying from
but the issue with Pixar now is they're getting sequelitis because Toy Story 4 is going to come out eventually.
Finding Dory 2 as well. But Incredibles.
No, just Finding Dory
2.
We're getting sequelitis and that's the thing, but they're also creating new exciting. They're creating new films as well. That's the thing is they're balancing it out.
Yeah, I've seen it.
They're balancing out Pixar. That's my only one. I can't really think of any other film apart from Star Wars. I feel like Star Wars just dominated my year now. I've watched a few Oscar bait films, but they were all the ones I've seen so far are just boring as fuck. And like I watched Carol and it was an alright film, but it was so boring. It was like even my girlfriend who watches Oscar bait films as like a hobby and is in love with like Oscar bait films. She was just like, "What?"
I'm very open to films like that.
She was like, "Why is this? Why is this Oscar worthy?" And sort of thing. And but any other films, guys?
Yeah, what's your list, Andrew?
I would go more into. I haven't seen as many films. I saw a lot of films that Jerome brought up, but I would go into more of the TV stuff, and I would say I've been catching up with Arrow and Flash.
I need to catch up.
Oh, just today put this up. I have so many opinions.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that it's been really good, man. All the superhero stuff.
Really?
One thing, I haven't seen any of them.
We won't spoil it.
I'm up to date with season 2 of Arrow. Not season 2 of Arrow. Season 2 of Flash.
Yeah.
Or season 4 of Arrow.
You haven't seen any of the ones you just said?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
there's catching up and then there's there's just starting the season.
Yeah, I know.
So Arrow bored the hell out of me for a while. I'm not going to spoil it.
I know you were
I was getting bloody irritated because it was just like I don't know what it was exactly, but it doesn't feel like it was bringing anything new to the table. Things were getting a bit corny. I don't know, man. But I don't want to hate on it. Like I still watch it. I like The Flash a lot.
TV wise, sorry. Jessica Jones. I started watching it. I'm on like episode 5. Damn.
That's what I was going to say.
Do you like
Jessica Jones?
Good show.
It's really good.
I don't like it that much.
No, but
it has its moments. When it hits, you're like, damn.
Yeah.
That first episode, that ending, I was like, whoa.
And that is literally what had me scared. Because I was asking Callum, like, what is Jessica Jones like? It's like, is it in terms of like like TV shows about superheroes because like I like Flash, I like Flash, I like Arrow, I like Daredevil. But when it came to watching Daredevil, literally the episode where someone gets hurt by a car had me scarred to the point where I'm not watching it anymore until I heal. Until I heal, and I have not healed yet. Yeah, so when I asked Kyle, I'm like, okay, what's Jessica Jones about? He's like, yeah, it's about like that, but a bit darker. When the villain's a bit darker. And I was like,
no, it's much more of a psychological.
And that's what had me even more scared because that kind of thing doesn't make me see.
David Tennant's Kilgrave character is
I don't want to
brilliant. So far, what I've seen of him, I've not watched it all. It could go downhill for all I know.
You know what? I'll say this, right? Because I don't like Jessica Jones that much. I gave it a chance. I watched it all the way through. I don't like it that much, but there were bits. You're right. There are bits that I was like, this is pretty well done. Like for me, it was Kilgrave. He pretty much stole the show. Right? Yeah. I didn't like so much Jessica Jones, not because of her character. I don't know. I can't pinpoint it. If you ask me, I won't debate it. If you guys like it, you like it. But for me, there was something that it should have been more than what it was for me.
Well, I'm only on episode 5, so I've still got like
No, I finished watching it, and I know a bit more about her Luke Cage than I did about Jessica Jones. So it's interesting for me, and I know that the whole storyline of her when she meets him later on, so it's nice to know the origins of the two of them meeting. But what they plan to do for season 2 with, how they're going to meet up with Daredevil and all the other stuff and the Punisher.
Is that going to happen?
Yeah.
They're straight up crossover.
Well, why can't they?
Yeah, I'm not saying they can't. I'm just I don't know.
Both on Netflix.
They're both
I know, obviously
based in Hell's Kitchen.
No, but it makes sense that they can smash them together. Yeah, because they're just going to cash out.
It's just
hard.
It's just the battle between like the two types of the difference you can see between what Arrow now is doing and what Marvel is doing. It's just a nice, like, you don't have to do a lot. It's like Arrow is just over the top, like you say. You find it boring.
I'm finding it boring.
Arrow is very much a CW show.
Yeah.
If you ask me which I like more, the Marvel TV shows or the DC TV shows, I'll probably say Marvel.
Yeah,
but only because they only have 2 right now? They only have 2.
No, there's more.
What's the other?
There's Agents of
Shield.
Shield.
I don't watch Agents of Shield.
And Agent Carter
as well.
But they're very much. I think they're
they're prequel kind of thing.
They're like ABC projects, and they're very much ABC shows.
They're in the
because they're all in the universe.
They're just made by different production companies.
Yeah, I tried to watch Agents of Shield, didn't like it that much.
No, I watched like 2 episodes and I was
like, I got to about 5 or something, and I was like, this TV show is pretty much, it's telling me go watch the films. Yeah. Before you watch this episode, I was like, I don't want to do that.
It just seemed to me like it was very much a tiny Avengers team.
It is. It's like that.
It's just a tiny insignificant. Because now we've got Avengers, then Avengers essentially 2 with the split off group that Captain America's running, and now we've got Agents of Shield, which might as well be the lowest of the low.
At the point,
you get the not really that important cases.
Like now, it doesn't make sense. I think there's a lot of meta-humans in Agents of Shield, and it doesn't make sense why they even exist. Like they should at least have some Avengers in it, or like be helping them out. Like just call
cameos at least. I think we saw one of Samuel Jackson early on.
I think
does it happen again?
He turns up sometimes.
They bring what's her face, the woman who plays Robin in How I Met Your Mother. Yeah. She's in the first episode and is all like, "You're gonna have to tell." I don't care what the thing is. I really don't care why he's alive. Okay, he's alive. Yeah, it's cool. Like I don't care. I don't need to have this mystery behind it. But Agents of Shield.
Some people love it.
But it's not like the Netflix shows are so much better.
Much better.
Most Netflix shows that are coming out now, and most are amazing.
I can't wait till they do Iron Fist.
Yeah,
I can't wait. That could be so good if they do it right.
There's so
but
many.
They're saying they might just give him a movie. I don't know if he'll actually get a series.
No.
Is it gonna be on Netflix?
Netflix.
If it's on Netflix, I don't know. Right.
A Netflix made movie, home movie.
Yeah.
I'd still enjoy that.
Well,
yeah. That sounds pretty cool.
But anything else?
Yeah. What else you got?
No, I think that's it. John,
have you got any?
Apart from what was it? Jurassic World.
Oh, Jurassic World. Yeah, let's talk about Jurassic World.
We talked about Jurassic World for a whole episode.
I don't care.
To be honest, I kind of feel bad for Jurassic World because they did quite well, and then they got a weird bit of hate afterwards for naming a dinosaur the Pachysaurus. And
what?
Then, they got hate for it. No, seriously. No, they didn't get hate for calling it a Pachysaurus. They got hate for calling its nickname, which was Packy.
Yeah. That's
sorry if I offended anyone.
How is that a slur?
It did not go. Dude doesn't matter.
I have Pakistani friends. They don't care.
It did not go down.
Can we backtrack? Was this in the bonus footage?
No. I watched it twice. I watched.
It went over so many people's heads, but there's some kind of keyboard warriors out there that want to gun.
No.
And it's like,
I remember reading about it. When we saw it in
IMAX,
I didn't hear it. Then I kind of went to the complete opposite, where I went to this small, intimate, like solo run matinee type film where it's the tiniest fucking screen ever, and it was pointless. Yeah. But I heard it in that, and I was like, yeah, they actually say that word.
It's not going to
end well. They say it, but it's like the only thing, like in terms of Jurassic World was a solid film. It was a good film.
I loved it.
They broke records.
It did everything it needed to.
They broke records.
That's what it
did everything. I was like, I appreciate this film. I appreciate it. There's only one point. I think I mentioned it in the original review that we did it. When the T-Rex versus thing, whatever Moses saw, whatever, no,
you've got the doll right there.
I've got the doll, and it's called whatever it's called, the Megla, whatever the fuck it is. Yeah. Wow. That thing when they fight, and then there's this one shot where I'm like, oh come on, man. Did you really need to throw that?
Shut up! You loved it. I was sitting right next to you.
It's when the Velociraptor runs like in slow motion, and it's all like, "I'm gonna take you out."
Oh, that was awesome! I love that.
When Blue is all like, "Yeah," and then you're like, "Okay."
To be honest, like the best bit for me is when
she runs
basically like Omega Shamu just jumps out the water. That for me
was like, freaking Omega Shamu.
I'm calling him that because quite frankly that's what he is. That for me was just like that brought me back like wrestling feels like, oh god, the man of nowhere, another neck, he's in the wall,
I think I remember watching that and
T-Rex retains the world,
sort of turning to you.
Yeah, I remember you saying to me, I know what's gonna happen. I was like, what's he talking about? And then it happened. I was like, whoa!
Yeah. And the T-Rex is like, yeah, bitch.
Do you know what I love that I didn't notice, but I saw on the Honest Trailers, guys, right, where they said that the bit where obviously the one shot of them fighting, right?
Yeah.
Then you see the bit where the Velociraptor jumps onto the T-Rex to get leverage.
Yeah.
For a jump. That was friggin' awesome.
That actually was well done.
That's the bit that's the whole bit of the movie where I'm just like, this turned from, yes, it was a summer blockbuster like action movie. Yeah. It turned from like them being running from a dinosaur. Like that's the whole thing that I find interesting about the Jurassic Park films, is when the humans are legitimately scared and trying to find a way of surviving. It's when they turned it into let's smash shit together,
but it was
and let's smash all our advertisers in advertisers' properties. No. Starbucks got fucked.
They're not properties, they're assets. Yeah. That's the main word they use in that film.
It's when you look around and you're like, well, that got fucked. And then I didn't get why the T-Rex goes up and the thing is just like, raw. And I'm like,
they had to do that because they had to.
Just alert all the people who are looking for the uncaged dinosaurs to your presence.
Everyone's just going to leave.
Yeah,
what are they going to do with that?
To be honest, they were going to leave because like the Indian guy who was in charge died.
We've spoken about that.
Also,
that was
by the way,
that was some
quick thing to say what Caleb said. There's a T-Rex. He's not thinking it through.
Well, the thing you don't know what genetics they did to them.
Oh yeah, it's probably clever girl,
shit like that.
This one could be a boy. How do you know?
Who cares?
Life finds a way. You know that rubbish.
They're just like, of course, it's going to be a Velociraptor hybrid. Can't not have that.
Dude, it was just a solid movie.
It was a solid
through and through.
If
the
I
bit where the Velociraptors are just
when I want to watch something fun, I will watch Jurassic World.
It's awesome.
Jurassic World is a fun movie. If you don't take it seriously, it's a fun film.
It just reminded me why I didn't like it. It was like the dumbest bit when the boss died in the helicopter. It was this.
Don't worry, I can fly this helicopter. I don't even that. The bit up to that part, it was like, okay, what? No, don't. Why you want to fly? Okay, he's flying the helicopter now. Then immediately after that, it goes to shit because the guys in the helicopter
after that
get speared. Then another guy gets speared. Okay, you're gonna leave now. Cool, man. Great. That's fantastic. Safe. We never really liked you anyway. We didn't get to know you much.
It's like no boats on the island. Like one could get away.
Every death in that film was predictable. It was foreseeable.
No, not really. No.
Apart from massive assistant traumatizing, unnecessary killing of that woman. That was so pointless. Why did
That
that one woman need to suffer that much?
I loved it all.
To be honest, she did nothing. You know what's
She took her eyes off the kids for 1 minute.
But
for 1 minute, and they went and they were arseholes because they specifically ditched her, and then she gets fucking killed, like the worst way, and it's not fair.
Callum.
It's not fair, alright?
Callum, first of all, it was the older brother that was a dickhead, right? Because he
anyway.
was trying to romance chicks just by staring at them, and that's some creepy
and he had a girlfriend.
Stuff. Exactly.
Huge bag.
Exactly. That was one weird romantic thing. Two, why would we need to know about the assistant's boyfriend and her problems? Right before they kill her, like, oh my god, I haven't got time to talk to you about this. Bird in the mouth. Next thing you know, she's getting marinated in the water. Then, done. It's over. Not even like a last scream. You know what? I'm gonna stop myself. It was an adequate film.
No, I loved it.
They broke a lot of records. Then a little boy
Which
called
Star Wars is gonna trump over? It's gonna just stamp it.
It already has, hasn't it?
Not even.
It broke $1 billion in like 2 weeks.
No. In 12 days.
Yeah.
Jurassic World did it in 13 days.
Yeah.
Which is still pretty
No,
good.
it's gonna trump it.
But why should
It's
it
not
debate
going
about
to,
who
yeah.
makes more money? They're both really good films.
I think we should move on to Star Wars.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this is
Wait.
the big one. This
Wait.
is the big one, people.
It's the big one, yeah? Who wants to go first?
I think Callum wants to go first because
I do want to go first. I have many things. I've
Say
done
your
nothing
thing.
for this last week and a bit, but talk about Star Wars with everyone I
Yeah.
met. So, yeah.
I've just been watching interviews.
Say it with your
Yeah,
chest.
I've been watching anything.
Because I haven't watched any of the stuff before I watched
Yeah.
it. I've been actually catching up. I've even watched the trailer and everything.
So, personally for me, hands down, best film that's come out this year. Like, hands down. That's debatable.
I second the motion.
It's debatable probably within this group whether it's the best movie that's come out this year. It's revitalized the entire Star Wars community, and the films are no longer. People are kind of the stain that was the prequels in terms of a larger saga.
The bad taste left in the mouth has been.
I get that as a child, that those films for me were brilliant films. In terms of, I loved them when I was a child. I'm not going to deny that I loved them as a child. But as an adult, rewatching them, I can see there's much to be desired.
I've rewatched them, and it's not that I still kind of like them. I can still watch them.
Taha, you're breaking my heart.
I grew up on the prequels.
Yeah,
fair enough.
The one I really like is Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, Revenge of the Sith.
That one hasn't changed. I actually like that more now.
But that's Revenge.
Yeah, that's Revenge. That's the prequels. That's
we're not here to talk about
the new Star Wars film.
The new ones.
Is so good. It doesn't start off with a ridiculous space battle.
That wasn't ridiculous.
No. It harkens back to the originals. It harkens back to the originals with a cool space shot, sort of with the spaceship, the new Star Destroyer that they've introduced, which I think was called the Equalizer or something like that.
Yeah,
or something like that. They do that. Cool shot and landing. That opening scene alone sets like the new tone to the film for me. It has great character. Yeah, the entire new feel of the film. It has a dark.
You don't think that maybe you saw some of this before? Yeah,
I get that. No, I get that the whole entire film. If you realistically,
watch it, it's just a new hope.
It's a new hope with better visuals,
with different, with stuff. It's not completely the same.
And I'm okay with
but
that.
it sort of runs around the same formula.
You are the fan. I know what fan you are right now.
Here we go.
I know
We've got to jump to conclusions. Okay.
I know exactly what you are.
Go.
I've heard from reviews and I've read up on it. There are two people when they go and see Star Wars. There are the people who hate the prequels and are like, it needs to be more like the originals. And then the people who are now watched the new film and they love it because it is that and it's great and it's completely different from the prequels and it's great and love that it's similar to things. And I know there's the new people who are like, it's too similar to the originals.
It's too similar. The thing, right? I love the film, hands down. It's freaking. You know what? I might even jump aboard and say, it probably is the best film of the year, right?
Good God.
It is damn good. I freaking love it. I'll watch it again, no problem. But it does have its faults.
It does have its
faults.
faults.
And that is, it doesn't necessarily. I'm not going to say it is a fault, but someone could view it as a fault. It's a subjective matter, you know. You could say that it's a bit unoriginal, but at the same time, it's like I don't care, to be honest. It is a bit like a New Hope, but it's still friggin' awesome.
At least it's within its own series. This is not trying to copy from another random movie. It's taking from its other recipe.
And it also adds on. It also adds on to the whole fact that what the villain is, right? The villain's trying to be Darth Vader. That's That's what they have. They kind of have this thing of Kylo Ren. He really wants to be like Darth Vader. He idolizes.
Finish what you started.
So he almost
he idolizes his, spoiler alert, his grandfather. And the whole thing is that he wants to be his grandfather, and he's been somehow, we don't know yet how yet, he's been swayed from believing that his grandfather wasn't entirely evil and was thing, and that his way, the Darth Vader way.
He doesn't idolize Anakin Skywalker. He idolizes Darth Vader. Yeah, that's
Luke,
how he sees
how I imagine is Luke would have probably only told him about Anakin Skywalker-esque things. And
not necessarily, he probably told him everything.
I would have told him about the lore of the dark side and all that. And the weird thing is, we still don't know, and it still makes no sense in the film right now, how he goes from being a prodigy of Luke to being essentially Anakin 2.0.
Here's my point that I was trying to make, though, is the sense that, because he's trying to be Darth Vader, right? And the whole fact that the film kind of role seems like it's a bit like New Hope. It seems almost as if he's the reason for that, because through him trying to be Darth Vader, he sways the movie in a certain direction. It starts off with him attacking a village, trying to get plans to... Darth Vader was plans. Is the part of the map.
He does get top part of the map.
It's because to look for Luke, right? Then the film tells you he's trying to be Darth Vader. And then it's like, you start to get him a bit better.
Yeah.
And because he isn't Darth Vader. You see it. He's not on that level.
Saying it? No, I'm saying it. He's above Darth Vader.
Okay,
his character,
here we go.
His character, in terms of as a villain, as someone that you can relate to. The thing about Darth Vader in the originals, until he becomes revealed as Luke's father, is he is a completely unrelatable villain. He is just this guy in a suit that rolls around fucking shit up.
Do you know why that is, though?
No.
Do you know why that is? That's because George Lucas did a bad job conveying that character. Because really, from the get-go, Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, is the main character of Star Wars.
Yeah.
He had this from the beginning. Even before he was called Skywalker, he was called Anakin Starkiller, right?
Yeah.
The elements that he was supposed to be this rebel Jedi, but he still cares about family. The problem with George Lucas is he didn't put into this film the human element of Darth Vader, is what I'm saying. They fixed that this time.
They fixed that. He is completely human. He is, though, again, his motivations for why in which he joins the dark side, or the dark...
Hasn't been revealed.
What is this law that he has? Because it makes no sense right now. Because clearly his family love him, and clearly, even though he's done this clearly horrible thing and murdering, they still love him, and all that.
You can see it in the way that the people react to him as well. The way like he was tearing up the ship and stuff.
Yeah.
The way that people react to him.
The two stormtroopers. He's like, you know what? Nah, leave that.
You know what? I'm just gonna... Nope. I'm just gonna leave.
The thing.
Another tantrum of this...
Something tells me he needs a Snickers bar, but we ain't got one. So
back away real quick. Back away little. Back away.
If anything, it was just like the way those two, like one of them just taps, was like, oh, you hear that? Leave that. Let's go.
I love the way they did the Force in the film. I think the way they updated the Force.
If anything, I think the first sign we see of the new use of the Force, I'm gonna add to that, is when Poe Gan like fires a blast. I think it was either from his gun or from the ship. I think it was from his gun.
No, it was from his gun.
And the way Kylo Ren's just like, boom, I'm gonna pause that right there. Leave that. And not even that. He pauses it, then puts his hand down and leaves it there. That was awesome. Because it's always been a case where you need to like have complete focus and your hands there like manipulating it. It was like, boom.
I've never thought the Force was done to its full extent in the previous films. Even the originals, they could have been done much more.
Yeah. I
mean, you know what? No, the original does do it really good at some points, like the bit where Luke is fighting Darth Vader and he does like a Force jump, right?
Yeah.
That was pretty swell, like, because it was more hinted that he was using the Force than anything. It was a nice little add-on to that. But the way that it was updated and the fact that
it was done nicely.
It was the sound effects and the way when he gripped Rey and she just kind of went in this uncomfortable position.
It showed like an unnatural manipulation.
Yeah.
Like it showed that there is like actually like to make it over-explanatory. It showed that there was some kind of force holding it.
Yeah, exactly.
So like it put it on the nose, but made it so visual. It was like, okay, that's like, okay. You see what's happening.
The Force is done brilliantly.
It's fantastic.
This film, in terms of like its aesthetics and its direction and its imagery and pretty much all the stuff like besides the story, right?
And
the way it does everything, the way it does like the world and the way stuff moves and the way stuff interacts with each other and all these different tribes and whatever, it does it really damn well.
Even the lightsaber was different. I swear the sound of Kylo Ren's lightsaber was more powerful.
Do you know why?
It was just like, you could feel it in your heart.
Do you know what's great about Kylo Ren's lightsaber? Which again adds to his character, his unstable, torn character. right? Is that it's an unstable lightsaber. It's almost makeshift. And it looks like it could start working at any moment, which J.J. Abrams has actually explicitly said that it's supposed to be like that.
Yeah, the crossguard is. I think everyone's, from what I've heard, they're vents. They're vents to stop the.
Are they vents?
Yeah, I think they're vents to stop the lightsaber from overpowering itself. So it's vents to stop it.
That's pretty cool.
That's an awesome.
I didn't know. Where did you read that?
It's just a theory that I've read, and it makes.
Oh,
sense.
it's a theory. Okay.
It makes sense. Otherwise, it could just be an aesthetics thing. But again, why else? Why would it be that uncontrollable? Why couldn't it just be a regular
if that is a real thing, J.J. Abrams, you are a don. That's cool. That is so cool. It's understated, but that is so cool.
I think the way that the Force is using it is the best I've ever seen the Force using it. Not only in physical, being able to see someone stop something in midair or hold someone in place. It is, and I'm of the opinion, the way in which they use the mind in this film.
Yeah.
They use way more force control of the mind than in any other film. It has a strong focus on it. Kylo Ren uses it on Poe Dameron to torture him.
That was torture, right?
Yeah.
Because it almost felt like... Because at first I thought, torture. But then I felt, is he doing like a thing where... If you remember, Darth Vader had the ability to read minds. He read Luke's mind a few times, right? I was thinking he was doing some crazy thing where he was... almost like mind reading, but it was messed up a little and it was hurting.
That is what he's doing.
Yeah, that is what he's doing.
He's probing.
Was mind reading.
He's probing them unwillingly. They don't want to be.
That's why it caused the pain.
So it's causing pain.
Alright, because
whereas when
that's what I was thinking.
Is it that or was it straight up torture?
Until they start information.
That's why Poe gives up the information because it's terrible. But he had that information.
Yeah.
But Poe doesn't necessarily give it up.
He doesn't give up willingly. It's taken from his mind.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why.
I think he's fighting it, and then he's.
Because that's what I was thinking. That's what I thinking. It could be that, but could it also just be torture up until?
And I also think that he's so insanely powerful. The Force torture in it. That I don't even think it lasted that long. I generally think that it's like when he sees Rey for the first time. It's like, you've seen it. You know where the plans are. You know what you're doing. I just need to do this thing to you, and I'll get it out in a second. But it'll fucking hurt you like mad. Yeah. And that's why you'll be all beat up on the side. And that's when Rey becomes a character that can resist him.
Yeah.
And it shows that she's powerful, but then she reads his mind, and he's uncomfortable with her doing it, and it's painful. And it's his instability, and I think even Rey shows that you can actually do it in a painless way. It's just that he's doing it in a much less,
in a way it's untrained.
In a way that's
uncouth.
No, she does it in a way that he is uncomfortable that she knows these things. He's not physically in pain. His uncomfortableness in that scene is not.
It's like
you're actually hurting me. She's literally delving into his mind, and he's uncomfortable that she knows these things. Rey is untrained and can do all this stuff, and then you get into.
I think that argument is rubbish because the whole thing is that it's supposed to be there's been an awakening in the Force. We don't. The Force could be stupidly strong with her. We don't know.
What do you not think that she's Luke's daughter?
Well, here's the thing, right?
She's a bloodline with someone.
It seems very, very it seems pretty much certain that she's got some very strong connection with the Skywalker bloodline, right?
Or the Kenobi bloodline.
That's a theory.
I haven't properly heard that theory. I've heard that there is a theory.
The theme of today's episode is theories.
Theories, I guess.
I don't know. Theories.
No, I don't know. You're gonna have to explain to me that later.
It's not only that. It's the thing is that when people were also saying that why was Kylo Ren so interested in Rey? Because as soon as he heard there's a girl with BB-8, he was so interested to know who she was and why he wanted to track her down.
Which brings into the idea that she is the girl.
Yeah, it's a girl of what? It's like like daughter of who?
Yeah,
because he was.
So is this random? He's kind of like who's this random girl?
Who's this girl?
But that doesn't necessarily have to be like. He's suspicious of her. It's just to be she's this anomaly in the system. He doesn't really know who the hell she is.
It gives a hint like he already knew her, like because there was like a flashback of her when she was younger, and I think like he saw her
of her getting dragged away.
See, that's open to interpretation. There's a theory that it's also scenes from the past and also scenes from the future. Yeah, because she sees the island, the planet where Luke's on. She sees that in the vision, but she's been dreaming of that for years. And that she's never seen that place before. And it's all like, well, is the Kylo Ren standing with the Knights of Ren, we assume, is them. Is that the past or is that the future? Because I've kind of looked at it carefully again. When you see this sort of guy get killed by Kylo Ren, you can't fully work out whether he's just like a rebellion soldier of some kind, or whether he's a
significant,
like an actual Padawan or something like that. He's wearing like a hat, from what I can remember in it.
Do you know what I like about Kylo Ren? I like the fact that because he's Han Solo's kid, right? I like the fact that he looks like a mix between Han Solo, 80s Han Solo, and Anakin from Revenge of the Sith.
See,
if you see, he's got the long hair, he's got the long face.
Reminds me of the guy from Gogglebox. Yeah, that family.
Wait, I think I do. That's so weird. Bloody hell! How do you talk about Gogglebox and talk about Star Wars?
One of my main qualms with the whole of it was I personally believe that they took off Kylo Ren's helmet too many times.
Too many times.
Nah.
And
too many times.
I disagree completely.
And too many times.
I disagree completely
that
because
did bother me.
He took his helmet off as just this thing to be like, oh, you think I'm a monster? Look at me. I look like I'm 17. And
do you know why?
No, it's to show that he's human.
The point is that not just to show that he's human, the fact that he doesn't need to wear the mask, he wears the mask because, again, he's a Darth Vader fanatic. Yeah. He wears the mask because that's close as he can get, right? Yeah. And to make himself look more like Darth Vader, that's just what it is.
Because every episode so far has been rocking the hood.
Yeah.
But I think not in that with that, like, to add on to that, him wanting to be Vader, it's like him having that conflict where he thinks he wants to be Vader. He thinks he's Vader. But having that kind of weirdness was like...
Exactly. It's that awkwardness. He's torn. He doesn't know...
I think the minute he takes the helmet off, you stop viewing him as Kylo Ren.
Yeah. See, that's the thing, though, because you're thinking about...
The thing about Vader, when Vader takes off the mask in Return of the Jedi, is when he's been redeemed and when you see that he is actually a person underneath the mask. Yeah. The difference between them is Kylo Ren takes off the mask and you see someone who... kind of contrasts what you think he should have looked like.
Yeah, but see,
it's when he did it the first time in the interrogation. Like she just said, like something casual to him. Like
she says, I don't. That's what happens when you're being hunted by a monster in a mask.
Yeah, and like he just took it off.
He just takes it off. Like, look at my long luscious hair.
Well, the thing is, why would he keep it on though? If you really think about it, he doesn't care.
Well, why does he keep it on in every other scene?
He keeps it on in other scenes
because, he keeps it on. The minute he takes it off, he then appears in a scene almost straight after when he's trying to force her, which is my least favourite bit of dialogue in the whole film, where he whines like a little...
But
he
see, that's
whines
the thing.
to Snoke. He's like, she's trained. I don't know why. Why can't I do this?
See, here's the thing, right? You're thinking about Kylo Ren. You're thinking about Kylo Ren more as a villain, and you want to see him as more of this interesting character. No, he's not supposed to be that. He's supposed to be a character who's torn between two sides.
I agree.
Right? He's supposed to be half Darth Vader. It's almost relating to the whole Anakin back in Revenge of the Sith, where he was torn in that film. He was like, I need to do this, but why am I doing this? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what Kylo's supposed to be. Darth Vader, in the original trilogy, he's straight up villain, fine. He's got his own methods in his own mind, doesn't want to reveal them too soon. He reveals them like later on.
It's only at the end of that.
It's only the end, exactly. It's a different type of villain.
I get that. No, I still think it could have worked just effectively of him taking off his mask when he sees Han Solo.
Like, it wasn't as effective.
We all know that he's his son.
Yeah.
We all know. That's not the reveal. I don't care that they revealed that he was his son like 20 minutes into the film. I don't care that because we all knew that anyway. It was bloody obvious that he was someone's son.
I guess you could say, right, that the reason he takes off his mask when he's speaking to Rey, not because of in story, but from a direction point of view. Because he tries to interrogate her. He tries to use the mail, the mind control thing, or whatever.
And then she fights back. And then she fights back. See the fear in his face.
So you can see the fear on his face, exactly.
That's a direct point of it. It makes sense, but it could have worked just as well with him revealing himself to Han Solo. When Han Solo says, "Take off the mask," and he's like, "What are you afraid you're going to see?" He's like,
possibly, but
why would I do that? He's like, so I can see the face of my son.
Possibly,
and
but
then
it's
you're
not
like,
a huge
okay,
issue.
that's cool. And then he takes the face off, and then you're kind of like, okay, he's actually really young. It's the whole point is that Kylo Ren. I knew what he looked like anyway, because everyone knows what Adam Driver.
I didn't know. I actually didn't know. I made sure I didn't look at anything.
Like, you know what Adam Driver looked like? He looks like that, and he kind of looks. The thing is, it's the reason why I think Kylo Ren is a compelling villain in terms of it completely is that he doesn't look evil.
He's not supposed to look evil.
Doesn't look evil under the mask. With the mask on, looks evil as fuck. But without the mask on, he looks like a child that is lost.
Because that's what he is.
And
that's the point.
And that is what Anakin wasn't in the prequels. Anakin didn't have. He did whine. Kylo Ren did whine. He sulked. He smashed things up.
Yeah.
That was the thing. He was unstable. The thing about Anakin was all his reactions to things were like stupid things to react to, like him complaining about sand. That sort of thing.
That wasn't what. What? First off, right? That's a dumb point, dude. I gotta say, yeah. For one, he wasn't like he was whining about a freaking side. No, he was just trying to sound smooth, but just failing.
You're in my very soul.
Yeah, all that rubbish, right? Yeah, you could complain that was bad romance.
It was.
Fine,
it was
but
horrible.
it wasn't. But it wasn't just like, oh, he was complaining about everything. The stuff that he actually complained about, like his mum dying, which is arguably the best bit in the prequels.
Which when that happens,
Yeah.
when that happens, that's a good motivational point and it's a good character.
Yeah, it's good character development.
Good character development. The thing about Kylo Ren is, Kylo Ren has as much character development, if not more, than Anakin does in the entire prequels.
I agree, right? But
They did it better this time.
they did a better job of him in one film than they did with Anakin with
which
three
another
films.
thing that they do pretty well is, again, to hint at the whole Anakin connection, is that after he kills Han Solo and he fights Rey and Rey wins, he's got a massive scar on his face now. Like who? Someone we know?
If anything, on the note of like him getting a massive scar, I gotta say the lightsaber fights in this movie.
Oh, they were
The
nice.
lightsaber fight. That was the thing. It was one fight.
Okay,
and that's the thing about
it was great.
all of the Star Wars films.
Hold on.
They have one pivotal fight at the.
If I can say,
Not all of them.
Where
Okay.
else do they?
Hold on.
Not Revenge.
No,
Don't care
we're
about
talking about
prequels.
Star Wars
The originals.
When you say all the Star Wars films, then
The originals, they have one pivotal moment
guys.
where there's a Star Wars, there's a battle with lightsabers, lightsaber on lightsaber.
yeah, because there's a build up to it. That's the whole point. Is that you see they use lightsabers throughout the whole film, yeah, and you see them using separately, but then at the end they come together and they have a proper fight.
But I gotta say the lightsaber fight as well. Even though it wasn't like both sides didn't have a lightsaber, the fight in this film where Finn is against the against traitor, Traar.
Yeah, when Finn fights the stormtrooper, that's all like
Yeah.
which has now become an internet meme.
Where he basically
I didn't catch it. Wait,
didn't
Kylo Ren shout traitor as well?
Yeah, he shouts.
Okay.
That's the common theme with Finn.
Yeah.
They shout traitor at him.
because he's the one that dropped from the first order.
Yeah. Go on.
But like that scene was wonderfully done because it was a case where like for the most part, almost like a common thing. If they have a lightsaber, you have lost. That just seemed to be a thing with some.
Not necessarily.
That's what they made in the prequels. In the prequels, they made that anyone who was going up against a guy with a lightsaber was like.
Because there's certain weapons that you can use against a lightsaber.
But they even show in any instance, apart from like Grievous, Dooku, or thing, even his little robots that have the star things, they get torn up. Like
they get torn up because Jedis are just badass.
Yeah,
but that's back when Jedi were in their prime, and it was like
they were OP. They were OP.
That's when Samuel Jackson was around.
Finn against the traitor stormtrooper. That fight was fantastically done. Because it just felt like it was actually a fight rather than watch me.
It was a slugfest.
Well, watch me wave this glow stick around. Oh my god! I'm gonna do a flip in the air. Then I'm gonna spin in the air. Then I'm gonna stop. No, it was actually like them actually like trying to destroy each other for the most part.
Do you know what? Just to add on to that, right? In the sense that, or even the lightsaber fight at the end, there was this hint, or it was done really well in the sense that everyone's so unseasoned and untrained.
Yeah.
Right. The fight at the end is gritty. It's a
raw.
proper sword fight.
It felt raw.
Shit felt like Game of Thrones with lightsabers. It was off. Like the bit where the lightsaber goes to the snow and the snow is burning.
Finn against Kylo Ren. Finn against Kylo Ren. That was a good fight.
That was cool
because it was like
he was trying.
He was trying. You know, I was like, you know what, man? I like you, right? You don't want to know where you go pick up the lightsaber, you go straight for him, even though clearly he's going. You are.
Do you know what I loved, and I didn't get this when I was watching it, but when I read stuff up later, like after the film, is when he went, because you know he had the wound. Kylo Ren had the wound, right? And he was banging on it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell is he banging on?
To fuel the passion.
Yeah. But then I realized he's Sith, and he's making it hurt more to get him more angry. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah. That was one.
That's such a nice touch.
To be honest,
he's not Sith though.
He's not Sith. No, he's not.
Sith.
He's not. You're right.
If you can
Same as how Rey is in a Jedi.
Yeah. To be honest, I gotta say, like, kudos to Kylo Ren. Because we've seen what that Chewbacca gun has done to people in that film. There were times when that gun has gone boom, and the guy's done a backflip into a wall. There's another time when, literally in that moment when, like, right before Finn fights the traitor guy, where Han Solo's like, can I borrow it 1 second? Boom. Fires it, and like 3 guys go fire. He's like, I like this gun. Then, right when Kylo Ren kills Han Solo, Chopper's like, no! And then boom! Not even that, boom, it hits him, and he just goes whack.
Oh, the way Jerome tells
stories, he just takes it, kind of drops to one knee, but walks away.
Yeah.
You know what? I was like, you know what, dude? You're actually kind of even though you're a dick and you're a bad guy, blah, blah, blah. You're actually kind of a badass. Because you walked away from
they're
that.
very interesting characters in these films, man. Very interesting.
Wonderful.
No,
and can I just bloody hell, the Han Solo death was friggin' amazingly directed.
It was, but for the same reason, like, I did feel like it was like, I knew from time he was gonna die. Just from like, it was like,
no.
Like,
that's why
so
though. We saw it coming. We saw it coming because of the way the whole thing is, and the fact it was.
Unless you're me, who literally saw it coming because 2 days earlier I went on 9gag and bastard.
Yeah. He made a mistake.
Dude, just to interject with that, right? My brother, he got it spoiled for him. First spoiler he saw, he was on a football post. A post about like Match of the Day or something. Oh. And the first comment on the right was just a slew of Star Wars spoilers. And it was the first one. And it was the worst thing was it was written like what was it? Han Solo gets killed by his son Kylo Ren. 2 spoilers in 1 sentence. It's bloody awful.
It can happen anywhere, man. The internet's a dangerous place.
Jeez.
But other characters in this film that were fantastic for me were understated. The new droid. Because obviously like from like
BB-8.
BB-8.
Yeah.
4, 5, and 6, everybody fell in love with R2-D2 and C-3PO.
More R2-D2.
Of course, more R2-D2.
C-3PO is more comic relief.
He is comic.
He's more Jar Jar done right.
He's comic relief, yes, but they are still 2 droids.
Or Jar Jar and C-3PO done wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, as you said that because the 4, 5, and 6 came out first, right? But it was a case where like those two droids people loved. In the first, in the prequels 1, 2, and 3, we start off with R2-D2, and then eventually C-3PO gets made by Anakin.
We don't know.
We don't.
It is, but no.
It is, but no.
I found nothing wrong with that.
No, it's pointless. Stupid.
No, it's not pointless at all. It's a little something.
Let's not jump at that. For me, BB-8 was one character for me that was so understatedly brilliant. Because he wasn't like in the forefront beeping loud so everyone paid attention to him. He had moments that were fantastic. I'll name a few right now. Just the little arguments he had with Finn. It was like, he's like, even though we never actually understand their translation of how they can understand them, they can understand when they converse.
Finn can't understand them. Ray only understands him.
Ray was the only person throughout the whole film who unexplainably could understand. No, that's not everything.
She grew up as a freaking scavenger from droids.
No. She can understand Chewbacca, who's probably the first Wookiee she's ever met. Straight off the bat, how can she?
Alright, guys.
Why is it probably the only Wookiee?
Hold on.
The place that she lives, there's people coming and going all the time.
Gentlemen, please. Gentlemen, please. BB-8.
Yeah.
Moments he's had that are awesome.
The thumbs up was the best.
The thumbs up was by far the best.
It was amazing.
Not even that. The head turn where Finn's trying to convince us, like, okay, just tell her that I'm part of the resistance. And he just looks at him, looks at Ray, looks at him, looks at Ray. It's like, you know what? I like this. Even when they're in the Millennium Falcon flying, and he's like, he drops once, he's like, oh crap, that sounded like it hurt. The second time, he's gonna drop again.
Yeah, he does the
hit the grappling hook. Yeah. That was fantastic.
That was pretty sweet.
And even then, the moment when where Ray gets summoned by like voices of like obviously she's starting to like properly like get melded with the Force and get summoned to Luke's lightsaber.
Yeah.
I
loved how they did that. I loved they brought it back.
The one bit where she's walking down the stairs and you see like BB-8 behind her just taking one step at a time. Like, that was brilliant for me. And another thing, how did they explain how he gets back up them stairs?
Probably rolls back up.
Or the grappling hooks or something.
The grappling hooks,
that's just amazing for me. I like that.
The thing about BB-8 was that BB-8 seemed like a lovable dog.
Yeah,
he seemed like a pet.
He seemed like the Pikachu of Star Wars.
Yeah,
the new Pikachu. Like, if you would consider R2-D2,
but not too heavy-handed though.
Yeah, not too heavy. He was done just enough, and because of how he's got simple character design. Yeah, and he's tall enough, and anything that you can carry already signals as cute. Yeah, right.
He's big actually.
He's big. He's big, but you could like there are parts where Finn is holding it.
No, but he doesn't hold it. He falls on him. He falls on Finn because like when they're trying
to hide, tries to hold him.
When they're trying to hide inside the vent.
Backwards.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah,
he falls on him. And even then, like just comparing like BB-8 with R2, the moment we actually see BB-8 roll up to R2 is just like. You can almost see like R2 is BB-8's hero.
Yeah.
So it's just like that's a nice bit.
Let's test. I don't actually know if they do it, but in my mind they do it. When R2-D2 gets turned on and BB-8 goes back to him and stares at him, I swear to God they do a little shuffle. They do a little happy shuffle.
They do.
And they're all like, yeah.
I I love that. That's it.
RCD doesn't even know him, I swear.
Yeah, but even
like, hey, Joy, like me, how's it going?
I like the way you dance. You got a smooth head too. I like that. But like, that was wonderful for me. That was like a character where they introduced him first. Everyone was like, "Oh, we're making a new droid. How are they going to try and compare him? Are they going to say this droid's going to be the new Jar Jar? They're going to say this droid's like this? Are they trying to make him the new R2?" They didn't. They made him a character of his own, and that was fantastically done. And I must say this because I've said it enough times when we talked about the trailers. Finn, awesome.
Yeah, let's talk about Finn for a bit.
His bro moment with Polar Gun at the beginning was fantastic.
Finn was good. Finn was exactly what he needed to be. And what he needed to be in sad reality is he was great. He was the everyday man. He was sort of like this guy that we could all relate to. In a sense, not with
he
his
was
backstory.
The soldier that didn't want to.
Yeah, he was a soldier who didn't want to fight, and he had morals, and he did the right thing.
Not saying that he even didn't want to fight. He didn't want to kill innocent people.
He did the right thing. He did the right thing.
Exactly.
But Finn did exactly what he was meant to do in all of the trailers and all of the publicity and everything. Is he distracted from what the actual, who the real character of the story is?
Yeah, which was great. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
The whole point of Finn was to throw a massive curveball at everyone.
But the thing is, I like that Star Wars didn't try and hide that she was a Jedi. Like, they could have so easily gone all the way to the end of the film with her showing no Force abilities to the bit where she grabs the lightsaber, and everyone would be like, yeah. But they didn't do that. They showed her developing. They showed it that, and they showed that this is how you make trailers. You make people believe one thing.
I'm telling you, J.J. Abrams made a boss, man. He's so awesome.
He
knows about films, man.
He made us all believe
he gets it.
That Finn was going to be a Jedi, and that Finn was going to have the lightsaber. Yeah. And it was true. He didn't lie to us, because majority of the film, when the lightsaber was there, he had it, and he holds it, and it's not a lie. But if you look at the marketing campaigns and everything, they don't even lie to us. Rey is the biggest character on the thing. She is central. She's the largest one. She is so obviously, when you look at the thing again, you go, oh shit, yeah, she's the central point of it. She's the whole thing. And they didn't lie to us either about Phasma, because Phasma is this tiny stormtrooper at the bottom just chilling out with the rest of them.
Ooh, that was another thing about Phasma as well. Even though like she was eventually a bit of a letdown character, I did like how when they like almost gave Phasma her comeuppance in the film, like where they like when Chewbacca gives her the spear out of nowhere, and then like and then Finn's up in the so he's like, who's in charge now, Phasma? I'm in charge. It's like, so even there you get like a little bit of like an employee dealing with a horrible boss kind of thing, getting his own back, and then you just get that wonderful shot back to the original, like to the 4, 5, and 6 series, where it's like, what are we gonna do with her? Spaceport. Trash compactor? I was like, yes.
That's the thing about the film, and we can go back to what we said at the beginning.
Han Solo's face when you said
it was both brilliant that it made references, and it was kept us on the toes with the references, and there were quite a lot of them. There was stuff that people, I think, if you keep watching it, you'll notice more and more. Yeah. I noticed one which I think is someone which people won't notice, and it might not even be one, but I took it as one. When Kylo Ren is in the forest on the planet where Maz Kanata is, and he's finding Rey, and she's hiding in like a cavern type thing. She's hiding in that, and she hears the lightsaber start off, and she goes and hides in that. And he emerges from around the corner. Is almost exactly the same as when Luke's on Dagobah and Vader comes from around the corner.
You're saying
that's subtle little bits, the subtle things.
I see it now.
It's almost exact. It's probably not even.
It's subtle, but it's
subtle. Then you
get that could easily have been just like, oh, we did that.
There's also obviously the whole lightsaber in the snow. Hoth, Luke trying to escape from I can't remember what it's called. The monster that
I just thought that was just a cool thing they thought we should do.
That's obviously that. There's obviously the whole, basically the last 20 minutes of the film is essentially A New Hope with the Death Star. They even go to the point of being like,
I gotta say, that's Star Killer Base. Star Killer Base.
They say it.
Was pretty freaking awesome.
And Admiral Akbar doesn't say power of that magnitude. They fucking tease us with it, but he doesn't say it. He goes, how can they contain a weapon of that power? I love those little things.
Can I just say, Rey is a damn good character.
She's a damn good character.
She's
arguably Kylo Ren are the best characters.
We've seen like people try and do very, very strong female characters before, but I've seen that this is probably more than the rest. I don't know.
She is probably one of the best written female characters.
Yeah, man.
I've seen on film.
She's my favourite character.
To be a protagonist as well, rather than like a side character or a romantic interest.
They clearly state from the beginning that she is not a damsel in distress. Finn tries to take her hand, and she's like, "Yo, what on earth are you doing?"
Even before that,
run.
Even before that, when she's getting attacked,
she takes down the two guys, she whoops their asses.
And she whoops them, then she goes after him.
No, she also states earlier on in that film that she's not a pushover by running up to the guy on the random camel thing that moves at the speed of 0 in the desert. In the desert, and he's all like, "No, fuck off. Go away. Go away. This is my droid. It's my droid now. You don't own it." The guy could have clearly been like, "Go away. What are you doing?" But he knew not to mess with her.
No, but they know each other, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, don't listen to that guy. He's a douchebag.
And it was kind of like, the minute you see her, you kind of get like, there's something about her.
You want to root for her.
She comes off as a really good protagonist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like, and I also like how they didn't try to make the characters older. There are 2 scenes in the whole film where you kind of get, they're young characters. They're young people. It's one you said about Finn being all like, "Yo, fuck you, Phasma. I'm boss now, yo." And it kind of gets this thing. And it's when they do the Millennium Falcon bit. And they're kind of like, "Oh my god, though, like, that was amazing. Like, how did you do that?"
To be honest, though, her piloting the Falcon.
I love his impression of like, I don't know, young people. That was great. That was like,
you're gonna be the best dad in like 10 times. Like, I get the kids plight, yo.
I'm not even exaggerating it. That's how she sounds. She's all like, that move was
that
great.
move was sick, fam.
She says that, "Oh, you did the thing with the guy." Oh.
To be honest though, I was like that when I was watching it. Because I remember I was sitting next to the camera and I was like, hitting it one time. It was literally the bit where like, obviously you're gonna get that little bit of like that comedic things like, "Let's not go for that vehicle. That vehicle's trash." Blows up in front of you.
Great.
I guess we're going for the trash.
Oh, that was great. Oh, that was amazing, wasn't it?
Because when I saw the Falcon, I was like, that can't be the Falcon. It's gonna be like a small one.
I remember just everyone in the cinema going, it's like when it blew up, and then it just went, the camera got onto the Falcon. And I was like, whoa!
But yeah, and then it was just like when she was piloting it at first, and they didn't have the hang of it. Then all of a sudden, she just turns to Fast and Furious, goes for a ride in like inside one of the mass. I think it was like the.
She's got vehicle smarts. That's her thing. She knows to fly.
Who else has vehicle smarts? Who we know in a family? It's Luke and Anakin. It's so obvious that she's the daughter.
That's right. Yeah, because they have they're all really good pilots.
Yeah, but just the way like went to like.
But she's not a pilot.
She is. She's better than Han Solo.
She said she's a pilot.
Han Solo's so like, "Damn son, what the fuck?"
Yes, she is a pilot. I'm just meaning in the sense that she doesn't fly an X-wing. Is what I mean.
Yeah, because you know Luke Skywalker had so much experience flying X-wings before he.
Can we not like know that one bit between Rey and Han when she basically pimped the ride whilst they were flying?
Yeah.
It's like, we can't get into hyperdrive. I just bypassed it. And he just looks at her like, okay.
I will say, I don't know if you're talking about the monster scene.
Not even just that, like, because...
That was the one part of the film where I was like, oh, we're watching a J.J. Abrams film.
Not even that,
in Star Trek 1, we run away from some giant monster that's...
Star Wars has always had like giant monsters.
But like it was so clearly like it was one of the moments where I was like, this is so. You could tell it's directed by J.J. Abrams from the beginning anyway.
Yeah. But my point was the way he did the whole hyperspace thing, the jump to hyperspace. Because I'm thinking. It doesn't need to be updated. They can still do exactly how they did in all the other films and I'll be fine. But then they went a step further. It was like, we're gonna go to hyperspace while still on a ship. Yeah, and then they did it. You see the monster just like slowly just slide backwards because he couldn't handle it. And cool. Then there was the bit where they were like, we're gonna go to hyperspace, and then just to bypass security from that Starkiller base,
we're gonna
go just right before we crash.
That was so smooth.
I was like, nah, man. They did certain stuff.
Everything really about the film that they did was great. There are story elements. They could have. I felt like we went into a film thinking that we're going to have questions answered, and we didn't. And that's great because then we're all.
There is one thing though that I did want to point out that annoyed me.
Is it Luke at the end?
Not necessarily. No, I like the fact that
awkwardly long pause.
No, I like
holding a lightsaber out. If there wasn't music on that scene, would be the weirdest scene
ever. Do you know what? Do you know why though? Do you know why he doesn't want to take it? He's still ashamed, isn't it?
I watched the scene. He literally makes the "I don't want it" face.
Yeah, exactly.
You know the last line actually in the film is "May the Force be with you."
Yeah. It was. You're right.
That's the last thing anyone says before they leave. That's it.
Yeah. That's a nice touch.
Luke's just straight up staring at her, being like, "Don't give me that thing.
No, but
I don't want it. I don't want it.
I don't blame him.
Stop it, random girl.
Stop it. Go away. Go. Leave.
Shoot. How'd you find me?
I really don't blame him, given what happened.
Yeah.
But that was a really fantastic scene, and
I
remember even mumbling this like in the cinema, like as they did like a couple of shots right as she left the when she left the Falcon and was walking up, and she was just doing that walk by herself. There's one shot where you just get this massive like expansive shot where you see her walking up. And they changed the camera.
Yeah.
And I literally ended up like, I ended up like, I was like, that is a beautiful shot.
Yeah, because I knew it was gonna end like that.
But it was so quiet. It was actually beautiful. It was like after all the excitement, all of this, it still managed to be like a nothing kind, a no sound kind of scene, but still be able to blow my mind.
The imagery in this film is damn good.
Which
was another thing that got me. That was like, this is awesome. Is that because I didn't know anything about the plot. No one knew jack about this film going in. First line you see of the scroll text at the beginning, Luke Skywalker is missing. I was like, that's awesome. Yeah, that's a brilliant way to start a film.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
But no, there's one thing, because I was trying to make this point that there's one thing I don't like. And people who hate the prequels might disagree with me. Whereas the sense that, because you know the whole thing with Darth Vader is he's supposed to be the child of prophecy, the chosen one. The one that's going to bring balance to the Force, right?
Which he does, and I have an interesting theory about that.
He
does it before he even gets killed at the end. He does, because the Jedi are overpopulated.
Exactly, I agree.
He kills all the Jedi and makes the balance the same.
Which is great, right? Because he does, he almost does a clean slate.
Who misread it.
He almost does a clean slate. What I don't like is that this film sort of belittles that, in the sense that the First Order sort of come out of, in the space of what, like 20, 30 years? Yeah, and it's just sort of like, well, then Darth Vader didn't bring balance to the Force then.
No, he did.
But
he did it. The thing is, he does it anyway. The whole balance to the Force nonsense is only brought up in the prequels anyway. He does it in the prequels. He brings balance. The Jedi, and as us as viewers, are only thought to believe that it's to kill the Jedi. That's not bringing balance. That's completely throwing the balance.
No. It's not just killing the Jedi. It's killing the Jedi and killing the Emperor, and thus killing Darth Vader within himself.
But that doesn't bring balance. That completely throws the Force.
Not necessarily. It's a clean slate. There's no Sith. There's no Jedi about except one Jedi, which is Luke, right? But it's a clean slate. Not necessarily, because they're not overpowered. They're not. The main thing is that before is that they were almost in control of Coruscant. They're almost too overpowered.
But that's what balance means. There always has to be good and evil.
I guess
it has to be.
That's what it means.
It doesn't throw it out of whack because there are now 2 Jedi again, and 2 light side users and 2 dark side users that we've seen.
I guess
no.
You know. It would be a matter of.
It ruins it.
It's a matter of just how you who decides what balance is. You know. Yeah, we can't say it's pretty much whoever writes the script who decides.
It's because as viewers and in any film, we want to see the good guys win.
Yeah.
You don't see the good guys win, which is why the prequels are kind of annoying as well, because at the end of Revenge of the Sith, the bad guys win.
But it's not even just that.
And it's all about how Anakin did do what the prophecy said. The prophecy, if you ever go back to the original Phantom Menace, says, bring balance to the Force. They only change it, and then it's the Jedi's misinterpretation of it later down the line, where they say, is he not the one that will destroy the Sith? That's not what the original prophecy is. The prophecy is to bring balance to the Force.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Who decides what balance means?
No, there's thousands of them. That's clearly unbalanced. There are 2 Sith and 2 Jedi.
Not necessarily. No, not really.
1,000 Jedi.
Not really. But see, because I can argue this back and forth with you, but neither of us really know what is meant by the word balance.
True.
Yeah. Plus, if you could say that George Lucas, being the person who wrote this shit, right, and essentially bring this all into thinking that he would become Darth Vader and then kill the Sith, and then Return Jedi is the end of everything, and that's supposed to be balanced, happily ever after. Yeah. Right? If that's what he was trying to do, then essentially you can't really deny that it was supposed to be balanced, throw on, good guys win, happily ever after. Which, if by judging just by that, not saying that is because we don't know, but just by that, this film sort of throws out the window. Which is, but this is why I was okay with this. Because I know you're trying to make a point, but let me finish this point. Is that when the first teaser trailer came out, it said there has been an awakening in the Force, which made me think, as the viewer, that this film was going to be okay. Aside from that prophecy, there's been an anomaly. There's been a shift. That it's not going to be happily ever after anymore, like the prophecy said, because something's changed. Something's come up out of nowhere. But then you really see is that they weren't even talking about the Sith or anything major like that. They were just talking about something. We don't even know if it's Rey yet. It's definitely hinted at it's Rey, but it's never downright said. They just said there has been an awakening. That's it. That's all they've actually really said.
The big hologram dude says it.
He says there has been an awakening. Have you felt it?
Says this awakening. Then later on in the film, it's like, if this girl is all that you say to her she is, then bring her to me because she's clearly the thing I've been feeling, and I'm a bit weirded out by this.
Which is fine.
The thing about the film that I think, if you're gonna go about the balance, is the thing, and this leads me to one of the biggest theories that everyone's thrown around. They've thrown it around before the film.
What, the Darth Jar Jar theory?
No, is Supreme Leader Snoke is Plagueis.
Yeah, I've
and then
heard
that
it.
makes sense because the balance of the Force isn't imbalanced. It's still balanced even when Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine die, because Darth Plagueis is still out there. He's still out there and he's still a Sith. So there's one Jedi and there's one Sith Lord, and now there are 2 Jedi and 2 Sith Lord. And Kylo Ren addresses the balance again by killing all the Padawans that Luke was training up. There are still 2. And it's still completely balanced. It's still balanced.
I'd say that's
even if he's not Plagueis and he's just Snoke. Snoke was still out there. This thing was out there that was still keeping the balance. It wasn't imbalanced by killing the Emperor and Darth Vader because there was still this other guy. It was completely balanced, and they did their job. Darth Vader did his job. He actually did his job to a T because, well, him and Thing are gone, so that's 3-1, and they're gone. Now it's 1-1. He may not have known that.
I do understand. What I was trying to say is that we don't know what they mean by balance. But judging by that makes perfect sense. You know, I'm not going to disagree with that at all.
As if you view balance as actual numbers rather than
exactly
power,
it's hard.
Then you go like, well, are the Jedi now more overpowered because essentially Rey is more powerful than Kylo Ren right now?
Even the description of the Jedi is they're the ones who keep the balance. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's all a bit.
It's a thing.
Someone needs to make more. There needs more specificity. I would say.
If we sum this movie up, even if it wasn't the greatest movie in the world, it was still better, and no one here can deny it is better than the prequels. And it's revitalized Star Wars, and it's made everyone look forward to Star Wars. When the prequels came out, I imagine all the big fanboys dreaded each movie that was coming out.
People loved the first one when it came out. It's only after a while they were like, "Oh, this is rubbish."
No, we as children.
That ending fight with Darth Vader.
I remember seeing footage from the premiere of the first one. They loved that shit. Are you nuts? They were coming out of that cinema with the biggest smiles on their faces. One guy dressed as Darth Maul was like, "It's the best. It's so good, so good." It was only later on that they were like, "The film sucked."
I don't think.
Look, bro, I can show you the footage.
No, but as an adult now, and having watched all of them, back then you only had the 3 movies and that movie. I think we've had 6 movies where we've seen both the light and the dark. Yeah, and now we have this film that kind of, I agree. We're already nitpicking it. It's been 2 weeks. If it was a great film, we wouldn't be saying anything bad about it.
But like I said, no film is perfect.
No film is perfect. But if it was,
it's gonna have problems, but it's still good.
If it was how everyone holds Empire to be, everyone holds Empire as if it's the best film ever.
See, Empire's got faults as well. Yeah, Empire's a great film. Love it. It's the favorite one out of the originals. Yeah, but it's not a perfect film.
I think we can end this saying that Star Wars is good again. We don't have a sour taste in our mouth right now.
I never had a sour taste in my mouth.
But
I love Avengers.
Star Wars is good again, and everyone who's watching it now, unless you're like, I don't know, everyone was really suspicious about Disney taking over and thought they were going to ruin it, they're going to take everything. They didn't. It's a good film as it is, and now we can all wait in terror for the next ones to come out. Because we're all kind of. I'm
waiting in wonder.
I'm hoping that they'll be amazing and they'll continue to get better and better. But I feel like it could get to the point where everyone's hyped this film, the first film, up so much that it's so
because every Star Wars film is hyped. Everyone. Look what this one. This one's hyped to a ridiculous amount. Yeah, and
what's gonna happen when Star Wars Episode 8 comes out?
Star Wars Episode 9. That's gonna be something. Yeah. So that's the last one.
Yeah, that is gonna be.
That's gonna be crazy.
That's 4 years. No, 5 years time.
Nah, 4.
It's 5.
It's gonna be 2. It's not coming out this year. And the next one is 2 years from now.
Yeah, it's 5. There's no one coming out next year, so that's.
Yeah, then there's another one.
There's Rogue coming out next year. Rogue
is coming out this year.
Yes, okay, get it.
We're in 2016.
We said Happy New Year.
Yeah, man. Rogue's coming out this year. Then it's Episode
8.
It's 4 years, yeah.
It's Episode 8 is the one after that, and then it's going to be another gap. Yeah, 4 years.
Unless they're also thinking about doing a Boba Fett and Yoda and.
Well, not even that, because I still think that it's not necessarily. Is it one team doing the core films and then another team doing the side films? So that's what it'd probably be in that pattern.
Splinter groups. Yeah. Final note: Star Wars was quite a damn good movie to end the year on.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I feel like we're entering when Lord of the Rings were coming out. They were like the great movies that you ended the year with, and they were like, "Oh my god, these are great movies for 3 years." I'm hoping that Rogue One will be just as good as an enjoyable movie, and that they will come out every year, and then every year for the next 4 or whatever years, and every year we'll leave with a smile on our faces.
See, I never really have that doubt because I've never not enjoyed a Star Wars film. I mean, despite the fandom and how much they dislike the prequels, I've never disliked a Star Wars film.
And you're a very lucky guy.
Then I'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm happy for
I'm
you.
confident that
we
I will leave that
cinema. Ignoring this guy's happy disposition about Star Wars, it was a fantastic film, good way to end the year. And even though we don't really do rating things much, I'm gonna give my rating for it, and I'm gonna give that about a 9.9 recurring out of 10.
I'll give it 9. Okay, good 9. Possibly low end, like 8.59. I think there's room for improvement. There's still they could make this better. I'm not.
I'm pretty much in agreement with the IMDb score, which is 8.7.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a solid.
Yeah, that's a good number.
Yeah.
Andrew,
I give it 8 BB-8s.
You know what? Lighter thumbs up.
Lighter thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
I give it 5 BB-8 lighter thumbs up.
And
now with movies we're looking forward to in 2016.
Oh yeah.
You guys, we can name one film that we're most excited.
Deadpool.
I'm not actually that excited for anything. I'll say the ones I'm worried about, which is the DC films.
Ooh,
I'm worried about them, man.
What do you think? Jerome's come out with Deadpool straight out the bat.
That's me.
Okay.
And that comes out.
Oh no! Wait, Civil War. I'm excited about Civil War because it's Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man.
Okay. I'm looking forward to see X-Men, and I'm worried about Ghostbusters.
Who isn't?
See,
yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing X-Men, but also really worried to see X-Men. The trailer looks both really good and shockingly bad at the same time.
You know what? That movie is gonna be a memorable movie this year. It's not gonna be like can't say good about it. It's gonna be a memorable movie.
And I'm like, Oscar Isaac, you did good as Poe Dameron. You better be damn good as Apocalypse.
Because you could very well Ben Affleck Daredevil that.
Nah. I don't think there's many movies that are coming out this year that couldn't.
I can't see X-Men being worse than any of the other X-Men films. I can't see it getting that bad.
No, I don't. There are just little things like there's a bit in the trailer where they show all the essential horsemen come in, and it looks like the weirdest intro of villains ever.
I don't know why I complain about that trailer. The trailer you need to be complaining about is Dawn of Justice. That was a shit trailer.
Okay, true. That Mountain Ogre doll that looks like Doomsday is he looks like a Crash Bandicoot.
That's stupid.
Why are you telling me the whole film before I go see the film?
It's got Terminator genocitis going on right now. It's got genocitis flowing through it.
Yeah. They did such a good job with the earlier trailer.
Yeah, they do this thing where remember a simpler time when we had teaser trailer, theatrical trailer, international trailer. Now we've got to have teaser trailer 1, teaser trailer 2, teaser trailer 3.
I saw that in the cinema yesterday. I didn't want to see that trailer. I was like, oh well.
Well, we might as well call it Doomsday. Doomsday Zod hybrid monster thing. Yeah. And also Kung Fu Panda 3.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Can't wait for another Kung Fu Panda film.
Yeah.
They're underrated movies, man.
They're so good.
Yeah, that was pretty
Kung
good.
Fu Panda. Bryan Cranston.
I forgot he was in the movie.
You know what? That should be a good.
That's why it's green, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's branded that way.
You slow with your sly comments.
You're just gonna walk in and you're gonna just see like pandas making meth. That's what they've been doing in hiding. They've not been training. They've been making meth.
Po, we've got to cook.
Drops Mike and me.
Yeah. So to wrap it up, Happy New Year, guys, and hopefully nothing will be as bad as Fantastic Four Stick this year.
And we can finally put Back to the Future behind us.
Yeah. There's no more of those fake bloody posts about what date it was. Oh my god, I've never been more confused about a date in my life. And one thing, fuck those new hoverboard things. They're not hoverboards.
They're not hoverboards.
They're faulty things that can kill you.
Like, catch on fire and go back in time.
Back in time. Because where you're going with those, you don't need roads. You need a hospital.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.